kinda transparent nowadays. I use the only space I have where I can just get away. That be the only space I have except my daughter and babe. Ice in the wine and coming on cakes. I came from humble mistakes. I made 100 mistakes. Walking between being a failure and 100K will make you paranoid, nigga. That ain't just something to say. I came from Illinois, nigga. That ain't just some other state. I know this shit ain't safe. I pray the Lord can hear this pain I feel. The shame I feel just got too real. And the blame I spilled all on my new Tommy Hill. I can't do no more drugs because I fell off the hill. I know sometimes I don't know where I'm going. Don't know where I got to. I know sometimes you don't know where you're going. Don't know where you got to. I know sometimes we don't know where we going. Don't know where we got to. I know sometimes they don't know where they going. Don't know where they got to. In my city, steady trying to convince me about some politics. No, it's kind of selfish because my mama's sick. I think about her too much to care. I'm afraid that I can't handle what's to bear. So my prayers in the air to the mayor, to the people that's marching, that's aware. Keep the flare, and I'ma leave it right there. I had a dream I was experiencing the third blade. I met God on a Thursday. I brought the bod to a church day. I wrote this with you in mind. I pray that you find the truth, cause most these niggas be lying, baby. They see dollar signs like I did when I was 9. Saturated my eyes with ass, legs, and thighs. Past the time myself ass and 9. I didn't know ass could make me the ass that I'm. By the hands of time, I was passing by. Didn't know it was a problem till I matched your minds. Still a problem, but at least I'm catching mine. Trying to catch your mind. But what's the benefit if I'm not catching mine? Till you match your minds.
All right, goddamn it. Time out to kill Cito the Spirit Coach to get you in shape and form for the Age of Aquarius. I hope you guys are vibrating on this nice Mars day. Okay? Because Mars don't play. Mars like to get shit in order. In a sense of dealing with shit. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with what need to be dealt with. What need to be acted upon. You know what I'm saying? What need to get done. Mars like to be first to get shit done. Mars gonna step up. Mars gonna be first ahead, to bump their heads. You know, Mars. Okay, so it represents all of our passions, all of our drive, our sex drives. You know, our willpower, and our ability to give birth. Okay, anytime you're in that state of passion, you understand it's like a force, esoterically speaking. You know what I'm saying? You start seeing that it's almost like gravity itself. But this is our very first nature of understand what accumulation is and creating a desire, aka a will and things of that nature. So, you know what I'm saying? That which we call Mars, you know, it represents that on a macro level. And first and foremost, you know, where is Mars right now? So Mars is in Cancer. Okay, so that's what we all got to understand. Mars is in Cancer right now. And, you know, this is going to bring some new vibes, bring some new waves, you know, bring some new emotional experiences very fast paced. Okay, because Mars is pretty quick, you know. Passions, they're not really about reality. You know what I'm saying? They burn through reality. So it ain't really necessarily like anything you can track. You know what I'm saying? But you know when you're in the passion. You know when you in heat. You know when you got, you know, that chakra wheel moving. You know what I'm saying? You know when your desires is turned on. You know, but versus when you're not using that wheel. So these is all your chakras and shit like that. So all of us got these 7 wheels and shit like that. These 7 virtues and principles. And as a spirit, you know what I'm saying, you pay attention to these chakras. If you lost in like, specific ones, you know what I'm saying, this is when you may overindulge in that chakra. You know what I'm saying? So like if you lost in your sun chakra, that would be like you wanting to be seen too much. If you lost in your root chakra, that'd be you like lazy and like, you know what I'm saying, and think, you know what I'm saying, you don't have to you deserve, well, you'd be like self-deserving. So like you think you deserve everything. If you in your communication chakra, you know what I'm saying, that would be you lost in over analyzing or just talking too much and not listening. If you're lost in your crown chakra, you know what I'm saying, this is when, you become too realistic and you don't see anything outside the limits and bounds of your mind. You know what I'm saying? And of the construct of what reality is. So you like a blockhead a little bit. So, Mars in Cancer is bringing a rush of passion and things of that nature to the 4th house, which is cardinal water. And that represents the privacy of things. You know what I'm saying? So that represents, our home, you know, um, externally, but also internally. You know what I'm saying? What we connect to is privacy. What we connect to who has vulnerability. What we connect to as, being able to care for something, right? And things of that, and nurture. You know what I'm saying? So that's Cancer. You know, so they cardinal water. So they like to create and initiate new emotions and feelings and things of that nature. So that's like the waves. You know what I'm saying? The tides. The mood moves very fast. You know what I'm saying? It's our fastest moving planet, if you want to call it, even though it's not a planet, it's a reflection. But, it brings the vibe, it brings the tide. You know what I'm saying? So we giving birth to a whole new tide, a new emotional ride, new emotional feeling and things of that nature. And because it's done within the aspect of Mars, and this is tied to our intent, we all given this vibe the power, you know what I'm saying, by all of us focusing our intent and things and adding that to, adding on to that wheel and shit like that. And that's what all of us as spirits, each being aware next to each other, become our awareness and a desire that we can hop in. A fluid that can hop in as manifestation and rain down as clouds and shit like that to create that day in some way, shape, or form where we all kind of sharing that space. But, this is the essence of, our energies clashing with each other, our spirits clashing with each other and things of that nature. So, you know what I'm saying? This is like the in realm, the yin realm, the internal realm. You know what I'm saying? When you seeing things from here, you know what I'm saying? A lot of women be here, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, we're always trying to express this in some way, shape, or form. So and have some specific type of balance. Mars in Cancer, let's read what I have. Intensive care. Okay, so that's what I call it, intensive care. So Mars, which is passions, motivations, anger, and intentions, move into the cardinal water sign. This brings an intense sense of caring and need to nurture the right private connections through the filter of passions. So yeah, we're gonna feel the need to nurture and care for our passions and shit like that. Care for, what's motivating us and things of that nature, because we want to make a home for that. We want to make that feel comfortable and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? We want to make our, passions feel a little bit more welcome and feel like they got some emotional support. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we kind of jumping into with Mars and Cancer, because we're gonna need that emotional support for our passions and things of that nature. Now, the narc version of you playing that out would be you trying to force somebody else to, care about your passions in a way that, you know what I'm saying? But that's what cancers do there. You know what I'm saying? They have a sense of, um, need, but sometimes that need is well taught because it teaches you how to properly care for things and share a certain wave or vibe where you can get out your ego in some way, shape, or form. So, um, you know, when we're giving birth to this new emotion and things of that nature, is going to be us needing to um, nurture this passion, nurture this motivation. You know what I'm saying? AKA, this is like the bad son. You know what I'm saying? Mars is like the bad son. So it's like the first son, but it's like the bad son. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like the son that um, get you bump his head a lot. You know what I'm saying? So we got to nurture that. We got to nurture, you know what I'm saying, that energy, that first energy, that passion energy. You know what I'm saying? We gotta nurture that vulnerability energy with, Mars, and it's just being very raw in nature and shit like that because it represents the first house. You know what I'm saying? So it represents our desires. And our desires are kind of very vulnerable to us. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of watch what you nurture because everything ain't necessarily good to nurture either. So, you want to nurture, um, the things that matter to you in your life. You know what I'm saying? That's actually going to give you a sense of hope, give you a sense of self liberation, give you a sense of, you know, passion for, you know, self realization and being able to be a better leadership and lead you in your mind and your cells and your people, you know what I'm saying, to better prosperous lands where it can look like, hey, I might need to take from what this guy is doing. But yeah, but that's what we're gonna have to feel like the need to nurture is that passion and that motivation and that motive and that urge and shit like that. Now, you don't necessarily want to be nurturing all of your urges and all of your urgencies and shit like that because in the context of that, on the flip side of the context of that, nurturing too many urges and things of that nature could lead to you know, like self sabotaging because it's like you finally got the time to, you know, get down to this desire, you know what I'm saying, and care for it like you want to care for it and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? If y'all know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to care for it like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to care for it. If I don't want to care for it, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to care for it, you know. Um, but for the most part, it's just gonna nurture us being it's gonna put us in a position where we're all kind of nurturing being a little bit more raw, you know what I'm saying, in ourself and shit like that. And that's the energies and shit like that. So that's what's gonna play out. So as above, so below. So you utilize the energies how you want to utilize them for you and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So nurture your passion, nurture your motivation, things like that. Care for that. You know what I'm saying? Because something properly cared for can actually, you know what I'm saying, be well received and shit like that because it know how to care for others and shit like that. Care for that and not care for you, So um, that's it. And then you just don't want to be caring for the wrong things because whatever you're gonna feel forced to nurture something. You know what I'm saying? Just based on upon this transit. So you're gonna feel forced to nurture something. Now, um, and that something is gonna play out like a desire, aka Mars, passion, a motivation. You know what I'm saying? You know, something that you feel first upon, you know what I'm saying? Or sex, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna feel nurture that energy, but it's just, with you uh and within that feeling and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Just make sure that's done for the right areas of your life and shit like that. usually that can help you with your chart. Like if you got your chart and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? You could send it through and shit like that. I take a look. But that having aspects of knowing your chart and what house you may have this going through, you know what I'm saying, it can better suit and benefit you. You know what I'm saying? So um yeah, so just talking shit, you know what I'm saying? I think this has been a cool day. This been like a very, very intimate day. A lot of Mars energies in the sky. You know what I'm saying? A lot of very passions going on, the world going crazy, but you niggas getting shit done. You know what I'm saying? We still here on top. Not even on top. I want to say top. We still flighty. We still flights. You know what I'm saying? We still flying. We still all around. We still light. You know, but we ain't shit. We ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? We just in this bitch, like out this bitch, around this bitch, not this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Um, but for the most part, hands on with the mission. So, when you hands on with things, you know what I'm saying, you take full responsibility. So, and that's another part of Mars and Cancers too. You know what I'm saying? Because like that Mars want to be first. You know what I'm saying? They want to be, you know, up there. But when you have had a lot of experiences, like you can lead in a more nurturing way. And that's what you kind of want to do in the optimistic side of things. Mars fall in Cancer and shit like that, so it falls short. You know what I'm saying? So anytime a planet falls, that's like falling short of something. So it falls short of nurturing and shit like that. Really, because it'd be like in its own way, in its own passion of doing that nurturing energy and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But real discreet, like what I'm saying, it's real private nature, real, what I'm saying, the real nurture, you know what I'm saying. So we always want to feel a little bit vulnerable and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Just try to make sure you're not nurturing any insecurities. You know what I'm saying? Because nurturing insecurities would be on a different scale of that. You know what I'm saying? But nurture insecurity the right way where it can, feel comfortable and have the proper care. And shit like that. But yeah, other than that, man, shit, that's what I wanted to hop in and just chat about before the day got over and shit like that. Been putting in a lot of more of these astrology videos up so y'all can kind of get familiar with these transits and shit like that. And what's going on within your motherfucking 360 water cycle around you. You know what I'm saying? Because we all have our space and we all have our parameter, and you know what I'm saying, how we interact with that based upon our wheels and shit like that in the chakras and the external realm as well. So it's always good to get out here and speak your mind, give your time, cooperate, participate, do things for God, put your energy in. You know what I'm saying? Put your energy work in, especially when the moon is waxing. You know what I'm saying? You want to get your shit on. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put that shit on. You gotta put that shit on when the moon is waxing. You know what I'm saying? So that means use the motherfucking external as your bitch. You know what I'm saying? Use the motherfucking external as your bitch. You know what I'm saying? Use that as your direction. Use that light. You know what I'm saying? Feel that light up. Real shit. Feel that light up. Light up, bitch. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, and this ain't for nothing else but for y'all to understand like what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? And us as spirits related. So never forget that. And shit like that. And I'm Kelsito, the spirit coach, man. I ain't finna stay on here this long. I'm finna peace out. Ciao, that's the game.